Well, it's a little less windy today, so I'm gonna try putting this trail camera back up here in the barn. See if I can't find something. I get some sort of an indication of what's tunneling under the concrete. I've also noticed that the cat food that I leave out for the barn cats is disappearing a lot more quickly than it did before. So I'm thinking maybe possum or skunks getting into it, but it would be nice to get something on camera and know for sure. So I think I'll go ahead and put it here at the food dish again, since that seems to be the hot spot right now. Well, we'll see what we can catch. Today is really gonna be a mixed bag. I don't really have like one specific thing in mind that I wanna get done. Just sort of a lot of little things. So I'm bringing you guys along. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. While I'm in the garage here, I feel like I'll go ahead and address a question I've been getting a lot, and that is, where are the chicks? And well, I've got the same question. They have not showed up. I got an email saying that they pushed the shipping date out to the middle of February now. So what happened to that original shipment? Did it ever even exist? I don't know, but I know that I'm not getting chicks for about 2 more weeks. But I'm not necessarily looking at this as a bad thing, because it gives me some more time to really get this brooder dialed in. A lot of you suggested putting a top on it, and that was something that I was thinking about that I needed to do. I'm not so worried about cats or skunks or possums getting in here, because if I'm not using the tractor, all the doors are shut in here, and I don't think those animals can get in. Maybe they can. But what I'm more worried about is rats, because rats will get in here and rats will kill every one of those chicks just for the fun of it. So I've got an idea of how to make a lid for that, and the goal with this brooder is keep things mostly lightweight, and maybe more importantly than that, keep things easy to store. I want to be able to break that entire thing down and just lean it up against the wall if that's what I choose to do. I think that I've thought of a way that I can do that. What is that sound I hear? You guys probably can't hear. Oh, I know what it is. I'm glad I heard that. That's water overflowing on the water trough that I'm filling up. The nearest water faucet to the bullpen is this one here in the working corral. And you guys probably remember multiple times I've said I was gonna put a faucet inside the hog barn there so that the bullpen could have easy access to water. Clearly that has not been done yet, and I need to do that. I'm gonna do that. The big thing is I just need to remember to do that before the ground dries up, and it's really hard to dig. Man, you guys, they always get a bunch of hay in here. It's a good idea to pull that hose out, because it's very rare, but I have seen this happen where if there's a little pinhole in the hose or there's a little leak in the hose, it can actually siphon all of that water back out of the water trough, and the next time you come and check that trough, it'll be bone dry. Man, I'm sure the GoPro doesn't pick it up, but the geese out here, my goodness. And I don't think they're in season anymore, but I made a decision. Next year, Callie and I are gonna become serious goose hunters. I used to hunt geese when I was younger and just kind of got out of it as I got older. But I remember thinking when I was younger, boy, I wish I just had a place that I could hunt that I didn't need permission, that I could just go and hunt whenever I wanted. And since then, the patterns of the birds have kind of changed, or more so, they've started flooding all the rice fields around me, which has really drawn in the waterfowl. And after the birds kind of get tired of sitting in the rice fields, they seem to like to go sit in my pasture, which I really wouldn't mind, except for the fact that the geese trim the grass down right to the ground at a time of year when I'm trying to stalk it up. So I think next year, me and Callie are gonna get into hunting, and towards the end of the season, we're gonna hunt this so hard so these birds don't ever wanna land out here again. The reason that I kind of got out of waterfowl hunting in the first place, well, a couple reasons. The first one being my hunting buddy that I used to go with all the time moved to Idaho. In fact, he's the one that we bought Callie from. And the other thing was my black lab that I had always taken hunting died, and I realized that what I really liked about hunting was watching the dogs work. It wasn't really so much about shooting the birds for me. Of course, you got to shoot the bird to watch the dog work. But that was really what I got enjoyment out of. Well, Callie is born and bred to do that exact job. So in a way, I kind of owe it to her to let her do it. I guess bad timing on my part. Well, they're waiting for me today. Nothing like a little rainstorm to make them want some dry hay. Excuse me, honey. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Okay, I need to get out of here. Excuse me. While everybody is occupied eating out of the feeder here, it's a good time for me to walk around, check out some back ends, and see if anybody's starting to bag up yet. It's that time of year. Well, nothing too convincing, but a couple maybe signs. So we'll just have to keep an eye on them. I mean, realistically, they shouldn't have calves till the middle of March, but you guys know we always get some early ones. They know something's up. Well, chores are done, and it's already 12:30, but now, while I'm closer to town, I'm gonna run over and get some supplies, and then we'll head back and do something with them. I got a bunch of supplies now, and what I want to do today is build the second brooder, and I already made a video about building this one. The second one is going to be exactly the same as the first one, so let's do a little bit of YouTube magic. And it's almost sort of a blessing in disguise, actually, that these chicks didn't show up yet, because I was like kind of ready for them before, but now I've got time to get completely ready. And building the second brooder is part of that. I think with my 50 meat birds that are coming, what I'll end up doing is putting 25 in one brooder, 25 in the other. Meat birds get big, as many of you know. They grow fast, and by the time they're old enough to be able to go outside, they're gonna be pretty good size. And just one of these is probably not big enough for 50 of the meat birds. We've also got some layer hens coming that are on order, but they're not due to ship until like the end of June. And with them will come 5 turkeys as well. So having multiple brooders, multiple places to put all the different chicks that we're apparently getting this year, that's gonna be a good thing. What I might even do is put like some vertical boards on the walls of these brooders so that I could even divide these in half, therefore giving myself 4 brooders in total if I needed that, if the number of chicks would allow it. Got the brooders butted up to each other here, right with the outlet right in the center. Obviously that's on purpose so that I can run heat lamps onto either side And I think one heat lamp will be sufficient for 25 chicks in here, one heat lamp for 25 in here, and then if I decide to do my dawn until dusk light, because they will be inside, then I can just hang that above to where it hits both brooders. But I'm excited about this. I feel the most prepared that I ever have for getting chicks, and you know, starting to do it on a larger scale. I think building something like this is completely necessary. And if you're out there considering doing the same thing, which I have a feeling a lot of people are this year, these brooders are really easy to make, and considering what they are, pretty inexpensive as well. Okay, let's figure out how to put some tops on these. Hey. Is that it? What are you trying to say? It's time to go home? I don't know. Not quite yet. So obviously we still need to put a screen on top of this frame, but I don't have the screen material here. I got to run back home to do that. Before we do that though, I want to try, I've been working on this idea in my head about how to hang the feeders in here. So I've got something that I think is going to work good, and I want to do that first. All right, I got a mark here that's 2 feet from the end, and we're going to put a vertical mark there, and then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Ironically, my anvil at home spent the majority of its life in this garage, and now I could use it and it's not here. Well, this is dirt simple, and it actually works pretty good. So if you raise chicks, or if you have raised chicks in the past, then you know why I built this way. It's really important for me to be able to change the level of this food dish, because as the chicks get older, it's better to lift it up so that they can kind of just barely reach in and get the food. And the reason that you want to do it this way is because if the dish is too low, then they end up scratching a lot of the food out and wasting a lot of the food, and we don't want that. I could also tie and hang the waterer on here as well, and I thought about doing that, and I might do it. But the thing that I don't really like about it is I'm still gonna have to take the water out fairly often to refill it and to clean it out. So when the chicks are little, I'll probably use this 1 gallon gravity drinker. But as they get bigger, I would like to try some different ways to give them water. Ideally, it would be something that stays clean, doesn't require me removing the water to clean or refill. Some sort of automatic water would be nice. I don't know. I don't really want to do like a pressurized water system, which I have done those in the past. And the reason that I'm kind of shying away from those is just because if there's a problem, those things just run all night and you end up flooding this garage and bedding gets wet and chicks are wet. I would rather have something that I do need to refill, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't quite figured out the answer to this problem yet, but I'll figure something out. Let's take this frame home, see if we can do that without breaking it, and try to get some wire on it. Well, chicken wire might not be the nicest looking thing and certainly is not the nicest thing to work with, but it's simple, effective. I think it's gonna work. I don't think a rat can get through that. And it might prove me wrong. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. There's nothing left to do now but go put this on the brooder and then wait for the chicks. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.